We moved into No Name Harbor today, or last night, actually yesterday afternoon. We've had heavy winds last night, and today it's gusting to 25 knots. So this is short scope anchoring, except for the big cat. I think he's got quite a bit out. We're sitting at about 45 feet out in 8 to 10 foot of water. If the little boat leaves, we'll pull up, move forward, and reset with 60 foot or so, because we have really bad winds and storms coming in Saturday or Sunday. As you can see, we're completely surrounded by land, so it's well protected. Earlier, this boat, with no engine power, being tied up by the mangroves by a towboat, broke free and came all the way through, missing everyone, luckily. And we had another boat drag and almost hit us this morning because we are all in close quarters. It's been an interesting morning for this harbor. Our anchor seems to be holding well. It's dug in hard, and it runs out through there. This place gets really busy on weekends, with boaters tying up on the wall to visit the restaurant and the park and lighthouse. But don't figure they will this coming weekend with the winds. We'll see how it is. So, will this anchorage hold us through the storms that are coming? And does it give us places to go and things to do when it's not storming? We're going to go through everything there is to do on the island and how the anchorage does through storms. So watch along as we go through all of it, and we'll let you know our thoughts at the end.
About to leave, already packing, come with me. I'm not really asking, we'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be, life with no distractions. We'll get away, this is what we waited for.
A little late afternoon water tour of No Name Harbor. As you see, it's not a very big harbor, but a lot of boats get in here. We're going to go up to the far end by the entrance where there's a sunset bar and check it out. We have tied up to the seawall with our dinghy. If you don't have your pass for paying for the anchorage, it is $8 to tie up to the seawall with a boat or dinghy each day. And this is the Cleat, which is a sunset bar. I think all they serve is drinks, but people come from by boat or by car and walk up here to watch the sunset over Key Biscayne. Really cool hangout. They have music going all the time, so it's a neat place to come and watch the sunset and hang out. This is where we were anchored before we moved into the harbor. Isn't that a beautiful sunset? That's why everybody comes here to watch it. This is the inlet that you come in by boat from Key Biscayne. You can see there's rocks along the edge, but it is deep coming in, and it's a straight shot in. So other than traffic going in and out to have to watch, it's an easy in and out of the harbor. looking back at the cleat from the wall at the inlet. So you can see it's a pretty big area. This is the resident dolphin. He comes every morning, afternoon, evening, at least once a day you see it. And there have been other dolphins in with him, but this is one that is a mainstay. And he just hangs out. It's time for a walk around the park. This is Bill Baggs Cape Florida State Park on Key Biscayne and No Name Harbor. So you can choose to walk the paved path in the shade, or you can go out and walk the sand road along Biscayne Bay in the sun. It's a pretty walk out there, but we are currently taking the paved shaded route. That looks fun.
Great time.
You can see the different watercolors. It's a beautiful walk. Got its start in the 1930s when crawfish Eddie Walker set up a bait ship on Biscayne Bay. 50s and 60s, these stilt homes were a popular gathering place for fishermen, boaters, club goers, and well-known citizens such as the former governor of Florida, Leroy Collins. These 7 houses are the last of 30 structures to survive following Hurricane Andrew in 1992. They are now part of Biscayne National Park. And it tells about each house. And that's it off in the distance. The road to restoration for the Cape Florida Lighthouse was long but exciting. Craftsmen laid 23,000 bricks to repair the tower. They were custom made in Tennessee to match the originals. Then they reproduced all of the metalwork in cast iron to repair all of that part of the lighthouse, or to restore that part. The lighthouse reopened in 1996. Escaping to freedom. In the early 1820s, enslaved Africans, runaways, and black Seminoles seeking freedom would secretly come to Cape Florida. Bold captains would offer transportation across the Gulf Stream. Some 300 seekers left to Andros Island This is the lighthouse keeper's cottage. The original was built in 1825. The cottage went through many upgrades, hurricanes, fire from attacks by the Seminoles. It had a cistern, which is what this is, and there's a timeline of all of Key Biscayne. But they caught their water in this cistern. It was rebuilt in 1846. Had 6 different families that lived in it, and it was abandoned in 1878. In 1920, it was washed away by erosion. The Boatlife State Park rebuilt a replica in 1969, complete with the outhouse. What is this? U.S. Coast Survey Base marker. That's kind of neat. This is standing in front of the lighthouse, looking out over the water. I think the view from the top would be beautiful. They have several public beach accesses. One is at this cafe. We're going to go see if we can get a drink. They have public bathrooms here. We will go see what it's all about. You can see the public beach access out through there. Looks like they have chairs and umbrellas. You can rent bikes here. They have regular bicycles, some kind of little fancy little tricycle, and then of course they have the scooter buggies that you can ride kids on. They have many walking trails through the woods or mangroves, but we're just walking down the road. We're working our way back to the boat, so we're not going to check out any of those trails. Back on the paved path back to the boat. Those trees are really cool with all the vines on them. Be really cool to climb on all of them. Or when I was a kid, that's what I would want to do. Just climb on the trees or build forts back in these little places. Well, we made it back to Boater's Grill, which is where No Name Harbor is. This is where the dinghy dock is. And our dinghy's still here. And out there's our boat. And the water is crystal clear today. There's the dinghy dock from the water. So there's several spots. And there's how far away we are. And no, we did not anchor that close to the blue boat. The blue boat came in and anchored next to us. It actually eventually drags in the storm. So we've got 15, 16 knots of wind right now. This is a storm front that's coming through. Supposed to get a lot worse in the middle of the night. They're saying up to 50 mile an hour gusts, sustained 30 mile an hour winds overnight. But we were swinging back and forth because the wind was swinging back and forth. And we're all packed in here tightly. We're going to have those rain dinghies all day. They rain for a little while and then they stop. It is pouring. We go back to the clearing skies over there. Still dripping rain, but not as hard. And we all spun this way. These are screenshots of the storms as they were coming across. And that was the lightning strikes. We had one get really close. And this was the forecasted wind, which we did not see that much, thank goodness. So after all the rain we had, I've already took a bucket and got a bunch of the rain out in the middle of the night. But we have several inches still in the bottom of the dinghy to get out. I'm fixing to get down there with a bucket and a measuring cup and get the water out. I get the dinghy where I can get in it to get the water out, and it starts this again. And apparently our boat wants to face a different direction than everyone else. The calm after the storm. So after 36 hours of storming, we're back to our calm and beautiful, peaceful No Name Harbor. Or so we thought. As I said, it was a beautiful morning. And it's a weekend, so everybody is coming in because the storms are through. And this is complete madness. There are boats upon boats on the seawall. They are stacked side by side. And then they are anchoring around all of us boats that are anchored so they can get off and swim. Thank goodness it's a calm day and we're not swinging around. But this is what a weekend in No Name Harbor looks like. Time to anchor up this morning. So while we're getting the anchor up, let's talk about No Name Harbor. We came in here for protection from the wind. Would we recommend it? Yes, we would. You pay $20 a night to anchor, which I know is weird, but that allows you shore access for trash and to get in the state park and walk around, which is beautiful, as you've seen. But as far as protection goes, this has been great. We rode out 30-knot winds, rain, lightning, other than a couple of boats that drug because they weren't properly tied or anchored. And the heavy traffic on weekends, it gets really crowded with lots of music, all kinds of music, and all kinds of boats everywhere. But outside of that, we really enjoyed our time in No Name Harbor. We enjoyed the restaurant, enjoyed being able to walk around, easy access to provision with freebie into Key Biscayne to the grocery. So there are lots of pluses to staying in here. We spent a total of 7 nights here, rode out 2 storms, And if we were in the area and windstorms or rainstorms were coming, this would be the spot we would come back to, definitely. Okay. We're going to leave No Name Harbor, but first we're going to go tie to the wall so we can get rid of trash, and we got to do some maintenance on our anchor before we go to our next anchorage. We got to go turn around. I guess we could have tied the other way, but we set up for this side. We have left No Name Harbor, motored out, got our anchor lashing fixed, and we are headed towards Pumpkin Key. It's going to be a gray, cloudy day, motoring probably. We might get to sail. Going to go down through Biscayne Bay. Thank you for watching. Music by Epidemic Sound. Video edited with Wondershare Filmora Pro. And be sure to like, subscribe, and get notified about our YouTube channel. And follow us on Facebook and Instagram. See you soon.